The Dollhouse of Lost Things. In a forgotten corner of the city, nestled between a pawn shop and a laundromat, sat a peculiar antique store. Its windows were so grimy they seemed to weep, and the sign above, "Curios and Knickknacks," was barely legible. It was inside this dusty tomb of forgotten treasures that Alara first saw it. A magnificent, 4-story Victorian dollhouse. The dollhouse was a masterpiece of miniature architecture, but it was the dolls that captivated Alara. Each one was exquisitely crafted, with porcelain faces and glass eyes that seemed to follow her every move. The shopkeeper, a hunched man with a long, gray beard, explained that the dolls were modeled after real people who had disappeared from the city over the years. Alara, a writer with a penchant for the macabre, was fascinated. She bought the dollhouse and spent the next few days meticulously cleaning and arranging it in her study. She felt a strange connection to the dolls, as if she knew them. She even gave them names, creating stories for each of them in her mind. One night, while working late on a story, Alara heard a faint scratching sound coming from the dollhouse. She dismissed it as her imagination, but the sound grew louder, more insistent. It was coming from the attic room of the dollhouse, a room she hadn't been able to open. With a trembling hand, she reached for the dollhouse, and, to her surprise, the attic door creaked open. Inside, she found a single, unfinished doll. It was a perfect likeness of herself. A wave of dizziness washed over her, and the room began to spin. The scratching sound was now a chorus of whispers, seeming to emanate from the other dolls in the house. They were calling her name. Alara stumbled backward, her heart pounding in her chest. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. The dollhouse began to glow with an otherworldly light, and the whispers grew into a deafening roar. The next morning, the antique shop was gone. In its place was a vacant lot filled with rubble and weeds. The dollhouse and Alara were nowhere to be found. But if you were to walk past that lot on a quiet night, you might hear a faint scratching sound. And if you were to look closely, you might see a new doll in the window of the pawn shop next door. A doll with wide, curious eyes and a look of perpetual terror on its face. And if you listen very, very closely, you might hear it whisper, "Welcome to the Dollhouse of Lost Things."